Hey everybody, welcome to the Broken Shifter Podcast. I am Herden, and I am joined by Carbon and Caboose, if you would like to introduce.
I'm Caboose.
I'm Carbon.
Way to keep
Carbon's
that
going to be
shorter.
hosting.
Let's go.
Yeah. We're doing a little bit of a
Rapido.
speed podcast because we've had to do this
It's
twice
our
now
fourth recording.
due to various issues. Okay, so yeah, I'll just dive straight into this. So we had a stage 1 winner, Kyle Busch. Stage 2, Kyle Larson. Overall race winner was Ryan Blaney. He ran Kyle Busch down at the end and held off Harvick for the win. With a headset failure. I'm still going to praise that every time.
Understandably.
Deserving.
Blaney is a first-time winner. So this will be our third first-time winner that we've had this season, which with Stenhouse and
Dylan.
Austin Dillon.
Austin
so
Dillon.
we've had a pretty nice little run here this year.
Blue Chase.
We also had Bubba Wallace in his first Cup Series race. He drove for Amarella's car. Erden, I want to just tell about what happened with him.
With Bubba Wallace? Or
Yeah.
what? I mean,
Bobby.
he's a young guy. He went down pit road looking for the wrong pit road sign. He was looking for a 6 like he was in the Xfinity Series first Cup race, and he fudged it, and then he sped down pit road twice. So, yep, that was his race, and still managed a top 25 finish. So, can't complain.
And
Not
passed
bad for
out on
43.
pit road
Yeah,
during an interview.
did that
Yeah.
one too. Hopefully he's
Dehydrated
all right,
or
but
something. Oh, he was
It
fine
wouldn't be
afterwards. I guess
surprising.
he was on a NASCAR NASCAR video on YouTube at one point afterwards talking.
it's a long
I'm
race.
sure he's fine.
And he raced in the Xfinity also, so he pulled a doubleheader. It's Pocono. It's hot. It happens.
It's been a hot weekend everywhere.
Pretty much.
It's hot right now. Alrighty, so next up we have we had Larson, who under caution when they were coming out of the red flag, nearly took out Clint Boyer, and
Oops.
I guess a spotter didn't call him out, and Larson wasn't paying attention. There's a little bit of an interesting issue there.
Yeah, Spotter was on Channel 2 talking to the crew chief, trying to talk strategy. By the time the crew chief, or not the crew chief, but the spotter realized, oh hey, Clint Boyer, he got the lucky dog. He couldn't switch over to Channel 2 in time. Larson, not really much of a mirror on the right side, so he couldn't see Boyer coming up on the right. Barely missed him. It happens. It's rare, but
By
it does
not
happen.
much of a mirror, you mean no mirror at all.
Well, you got the massive rear view mirror that covers a big span, but
Yeah. Nothing on the right side. And
Alright,
Dale
so-
Jr. blew another motor.
Yeah, yep. And
Woo!
shifted down. Stupid mistakes. The whole Chevy team's having some problems, like with the brake failures. Those have been plaguing for Pocono. Because we had Jimmy Johnson had some brake failure, and Jimmy McMurray right after him, like seconds after. Jimmy nailed the wall hard. McMurray caught fire. It was just a mess.
And then Casey Kane later in the race.
Yeah, with 19 to
Casey
go.
Kane, Dale Jr. was getting brake failure, but he blew his motor before he could actually get to the point of absolute brake failure. Chase's
Yeah.
brake was fading pretty hard there at the end. Yeah, it was just... It's what Pocono is meant for. It is meant to just absolutely demolish the cars.
It was about 4
And
years
let
ago,
drivers
5
take a
years
test.
ago. They didn't used to downshift at Pocono. Most drivers
Before the
just stayed in
repave.
fourth. Yeah, the repave came and they started shifting.
Yeah. Caboose, did you see the radioactive where Casey Kane was at the end when he was breaking down, and he hit the wall? His spotter was like, "Stop, stop, stop!" Trying to bring the car to a stop, but he's like, "I can't." He's like, "I just can't."
I got no brakes.
Got no brakes.
Spotter. Oh yeah.
Like, hey,
That's
dickhead,
right.
why don't you come hit the brake? It's like
anyway.
they're flat. They just go to the floor.
But
Anyway.
so, what are you guys' thoughts about the race thus far? Like how Pocono went?
Who would you like to talk first?
Herden.
Me.
Start.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thoughts about the Pocono race was love seeing our new winner. Always love seeing our new winner. It's you know me. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. I root for an underdog. Love it. However, from what I watched when I was over in England, it was a pretty freaking boring race. Not the segment runs you'd seen towards the end where people were fighting and digging for those extra 1 or 2 segment points. So, Pocono didn't live up to its billing, but yeah, Michigan's probably not going to be much different. We'll get better when we get back to Daytona and short track racing. Need more short tracks.
Yeah.
Pocono in the Xfinity was a little bit better, but for the actual Cup race, it's just like I always say about Pocono. At the beginning, you're going to see some good hard racing, but on the most part, it's going to be fairly dull. Once we start
Spread
getting parts
out.
failures, stuff starts getting interesting because of the cautions. Everyone getting bunched up, good hard racing again, and then a lot of 1v1 racing, which is basically exactly what we saw there towards the end. So, but overall, I enjoyed the race. Yeah.
It's very contradictory to what we've seen all year long with these segments and stuff, though. And the ends of the race, where we've seen 2, 3 people fighting it out, even 4 or 5 people at certain points.
Yeah. We had I thought the race this is my first Pocono, and I thought it was a little on the boring side, but because there was only 2 cautions, I think. One was a red flag.
Oh no!
There might have been a third caution. I'm not really sure. I can't remember, but
It's like 3 or 4.
I don't know. Overall, it was not too bad. The ending was really good. It was an awesome finish, but yeah, most of the race was fairly boring and kind of sucked considering a lot of my favorite drivers were the ones that wrecked out. So.
And by favorite drivers, you mean people that were on your fantasy team?
Pretty much.
That too. Alrighty, so let's move on to our picks. Let's get straight into them. I'm going to follow with what I had last week and go with Harvick and Elliott. Caboose?
I'm going to go with, as much as I don't like him, Kyle Busch, and then I'm going to go with Michael McDowell. McDowell, he's been fast, so he's my dark horse pick.
Alrighty, heard.
Okay, Keselowski and McMurray.
Sounds good. A lot of good picks.
Maybe one of us will
so
actually win one of these things more than once a week.
Yeah.
The moment I take off
Hey,
off my fantasy league, he fucking wins.
I'm winning the fantasy league, by the way. Damn it.
Well, yeah, I had Jimmy
I won
Johnson and
Yahoo.
McMurray, and they both went out at the same time. But that was hard. Alrighty, so
Is that the
before we end
the
this,
wrap-up?
we'll give a quick shout out to some friends who are part of the Levine racing team. They do a podcast, and basically they talk about sports, stuff like that on YouTube, and then they also do a podcast on Mixer where they play GTA online with their fans and our friend, like people and stuff like that. So we play a lot on there. So definitely check them out. We'll put the link in the description.
Roundabout Productions.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's I guess we'll sign us
All right.
off.
Wrap it up.
I'm Carbon.
All right. I'm
Goose.
Herden. Thank you.
And this has been the Broken Shifter Podcast.
Booyah.
Take 4. Fuck
Adios.
Booyah, 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 booyah.
you. I'm gonna kick your ass one of these days, Justin.
Bring it.
Oh, corny dogs.